No, have a seat. I think you're in the old frame.
Absolutely.
Alright, here we are, episode 3, 3-Cat Podcast. Skip, Chief, and Coach. That's Skip, Chief, and Coach. We had a bit of feedback. My sister didn't really know the nicknames. Not a real one. Anywho, this week going to rip into a bit of Allblacks last night, a bit of international rugby, Origin 3 in a couple of days, and maybe a bit of Reece Walsh saga, but rip straight into the All Blacks. I might throw it over to you first because I've got a bit to get off my thing. I'll save my section for last. Did you have anything to touch on the All Blacks there, Skip?
First of all, I think Ireland obviously played some pretty good rugby last night.
Facts.
Started strong again, like we spoke about the last one. Starting real strong. All Blacks have sort of missed the jump the last 2 weeks. Obviously wrestled the momentum back last week, but lost a few players early, which I'm sure we're going to touch on and talk about. But
it's pathetic.
I think Ireland, Johnny Sexton controlled the game really well.
Yeah, and I think that's why in last week they got off to a good start, but they lost Johnny Sexton.
They lost Johnny Sexton early, so I think he played a real key role last night in Ireland winning. Their locks were unreal at the breakdown last night.
Like the week before, even though they lost, at the breakdown they won a lot of the battles. Like it was, they're just there so quickly. It's ridiculous how quick they get there.
But I was watching in the build up, and I think Justin Marshall was talking about the way that the All Blacks are starting to play rugby, and they're skipping those first couple of guys out to get on the outside and attack. But
yeah, they out of the ruck they skip the first receiver to draw in the forwards, to then so they draw in the forwards to create the gap for the outside backs to hit.
But what I noticed last night is it's leaving them with no one to support at the breakdown, and they're turning the ball over because of it. Like
it did work really well in game one.
Yeah, it did. But I think obviously now that you've played like that, and that's the way you're gonna play moving forward, it's pretty easy game plan to counter.
Once you just face it once.
Yeah, once you face it and you can watch video on it and go, okay, this is what they're doing, and we know where they're going to be attacking.
Yeah.
If like Ireland obviously fixed that up last night,
and it was more of a they more come up as a evenly spaced line instead of just getting sucked into those first receivers.
Because that's the way that's the way rugby's played, isn't it? They draw them forwards and then shift the ball, but the All Blacks obviously doing that in game one. Ireland didn't know how to defend it, but now that, like I said,
they've just
had
watched the
another
tape
week and they've practiced to defend that way.
That's easy. That's on Foster though. For Foster to come out and try the same thing again, as if they're not going to know what hit them again. Like, I think he needs to go. I want him out of there.
Ooh.
I want that Crusaders to go. Scott Robinson. I want him in there for the World Cup, but it's too late. They won't change it. They're going to roll with what they have in the coaching staff.
Why haven't they? Why hasn't he got a shot at the Crusaders coach? What's
because I think how they've done it. If you look back to, I can think 2007, right? Graham Henry. Then he's gone to 2011, and then his assistant coach has stepped up, Steve Hansen, and then once you're in that system, you kind of work your way up.
Yeah.
But I just don't like Foster. I don't think he's the right guy. I think Scott Robinson's numbers just are ridiculous. I can't ring them off now, but how many Super Rugby titles has he won? Like and the Crusaders have always been mean, but yeah, he's just a freak. But yeah, I think, and as well, Ian Foster. Look, it was a really weird game at the start. How obviously the cards, then replacements, then the replacements getting sent off, and then stuff like that. But Ian Foster gets paid to know the rules of rugby.
Yeah.
He should have known that if Artie comes off for the red, he can't come back on.
Yeah.
And Artie Savea was the man of the match last week, and the best forward in that pack. So Ian Foster should have known. He should have taken someone else off. I know he took someone off to contest the scrum. I don't know the ruling.
He poured in Aiden Ross for Artie, didn't he? Or was it? Oh no, it was Angus, wasn't it?
He brought in. So Tonga Fussy went off first with yellow, and they replaced.
They placed him with Angus Tattavell.
And took Don Papali'i off.
Mm.
But then Tattavell obviously got the red card,
and
they replaced him with Severe.
Yeah. Once people have come off, they've had to, because he was off injured, right? And once people have come off, they've had to say,
I don't know the whole.
It was a weird thing, but either way, Adi Salvez should have been the last forward off that field.
Yeah.
And it showed because, like, I think Sam Kane made a few dumb... He's the captain. He made a few dumb plays there. He was all right defensively sometimes, but...
What's your take on him? Do you think he's the best 7 in New Zealand rugby?
God. It's just when... he is the man, like... But I think he just made a few dumb decisions last night. And did he... He had a few times where he missed a few tackles? Yeah, it was not a good game, but... I don't know who you'd put there ahead of him. It was good to see Dalton in number 6.
Do you move Artie to 7 where he plays club footy and bring someone like Peter Gus or Hoskins Satutu onto the back of the scrum?
I think Hoskins is injured, is he?
Yeah. Well, moving forward though.
You would, yeah. Like you'd have to look at it.
Because for me, the 7, Richie McCaw was unreal.
The GOAT.
The best.
The greatest rugby player of all time.
Yeah. And then we sort of, like, when he retired, I don't know who went to 7 then, but we had Kieran Reid at number 8, who was so good.
Yeah, Kieran Reid was at 8.
Wasn't it still Sam? Was
Sam Kane pretty much got the
7 jersey.
Yeah. But it's hard. It's a bit like Queensland, the whole All Blacks thing. Like, they've had all these... 2015, the best rugby team ever assembled, and then they've kind of just... flushed out 6 or 700 cap All Blacks, and then they've had to fill it around, which they've done all right. But yeah, it's a few dumb decisions. But yeah, I think Ireland. Well, first of all, it's not hard to defend against 13 people, but they were there at the breakdown every time. They really
putting on those 1%ers.
The tails were up, so to speak. Defensively, they were unreal, but I think the cards is the big thing for me. As we said before, Beauden Barrett was just gassed. He was doing everything. Him and Geordie, they were absolutely gassed, sprinting back and forth, trying to, not let anyone through. Did you have anything to touch on the All Blacks?
I just have the hair clash. I don't understand how that's a red card.
Especially because he's a prop, right? He's a prop.
The thing is that it's two... I can get if it's a shoulder to the head, right?
Exactly.
But it's two people's head colliding.
And they both
to do it.
Knocked out cold.
They're both gone. So I don't get how he gets red carded.
Obviously, he is the defender.
Yeah.
And if there is someone at fault, but
still, man, like...
And it was like he was cutting inward. And he's a big ass prop. Like, he's not going to have time to... He's not very light on his feet, obviously. Probably 115 kilos.
Yeah, and the reason that he didn't try and tackle, he didn't go down, he was just upright.
But
I don't get how you're meant to...
It's a contact sport. We're playing contact sport, and the guys are moving
fast.
At speed.
Yeah.
Like, and to say, like, there's got to be some common sense from the referee's point of view.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I said, there's got to be some level of
leniency when it comes
and knowing when someone's actually
gone on
showing
with malice,
showing intent to go and actually tackle somebody high. A head clash is not, it's not even a yellow card. Like,
that's nothing.
It's
especially when they're both knocked out cold.
They were both on the
penalise it if you must.
Yeah,
but
it's not
to lose somebody for the game.
And they were shifting it out left, right,
and he's coming.
And he's come back in. Change of direction, and he's kind of been caught off guard. But there's obviously a player still coming at you, so you're going to have to make the tackle. You're going to still try and make the tackle. Yeah. But they've been obviously.
It was way too quick.
Yeah. Like, come on. Too fast. It was. I think he's a winger. Was it the winger? Or it was an outside back.
I think it was the 6, wasn't it?
No, it was the 13.
It was?
Outside, but still a small, shifty player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Also, Leicester.
I was about to say, as you said, the contact sport.
Yeah.
It's not like you can change your direction when you're in the middle of the air. Like,
but the thing that threw him and he got the yellow card for was because he braced himself.
Yeah.
Sam Kane
Which is
in the game. If he had kept his hands up, would he have been fine? The rest
I heard that, but like, it's rugby.
Yeah.
Come on, and that brings me back to this point. Rugby's becoming a pathetic sport. Like, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fair. It's not fair. Like, those calls last night were just not fair at all. Ireland did play well, but it's
off the back of those
off the back of those cards,
and all that position that they had because of the cards.
Yeah, it's
that All Blacks have been gassed, and then all that
3 cards.
Ireland were just very patient with it.
Ireland actually for what they had given to them, they played pretty bad.
Yeah, they
should have won by 50
easily.
13 men at one point.
They had 13 men, and then the possession rate, I think it was like 30th minute. They had like 75% possession in the last 10 minutes, up in their 20. Yeah. So to be
from when was Leicester's card? 15 minutes in, 10 minutes in, something like that.
Yeah.
70 minutes you're playing against 14
guys,
and then 10 minutes of that was 13. They should have won by a lot.
I think it was more. Because they had that other yellow card, then the red card after, so it was at least...
I think Fainga'anuku come back before the red card was...
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't think he had. It was like the same time, eh?
It would have been, I think it was around the same time, so there would have been hardly any time, if any, that they played with 12.
Yeah. But it's obviously different when you're talking about international rugby, but the Super Rugby final... Did you see how well that was officiated?
Yeah.
There was a head clash in the midfield. I think it was Roger Tuivasa-Sheck and...
Goodhue.
Yeah. Goodhue, yeah. Goodhue. There was a head clash, right?
At least, yeah.
And they've gone through it and they've analysed that there's no intent, there's nothing wrong with it. It wasn't even a penalty.
No.
They looked at it. Obviously, that's New Zealand rugby.
But I go back to the week before. I was actually at the game, Eden Park. Blues versus Brumbies. It was the exact same thing. I think it was Choate, the flanker for the Blues. Same thing. Got caught with somebody coming under, and there's a head clash with the Brumbies player, and he got yellow carded. He got yellow carded for that. But I can't understand how that's a red card. Like it baffles me to think that they're moving in that direction. No, moving in that direction and giving to think what World Rugby is going to be. I
was thinking that the same thing.
Because everyone's competing, right? And there's going to be times where you make a mistake and throw a hand out or something, catch somebody high and stuff like that. Is that worthy of a red card? And a red card for me is this, if you're showing intent and you genuinely...
If you punch someone in the head, that's a red card.
Or you're trying to hurt someone and you charge somebody in the head, wherever it may be. But I don't know what process they go through, but even listening to them go through the process last night with Fainga'anuku and saying that, yep, that's a yellow card, I was thinking, really?
Yeah.
That's a yellow card?
And you've got to think that the context, the level that these guys are playing at, the fittest, best rugby players in the world, you're not going half-ass. You're going 100% every possession.
You're trying to win.
You're sprinting around with your heart. I don't know what they think this is, and to say that punching someone in the head and an accidental head clash where they both get knocked out is on the same level is ridiculous. They say, oh yeah, he stepped into him, but again, the change of direction, oh my god, it was just... It was a tough watch. It was definitely a tough watch, and that's... If you've followed rugby the last couple of years, the frequency of cards is getting more and more and more. Where do they want the game to go? I don't know where they want the game to go. It's hard because, and the thing is as well, the tackles are coming, in World Rugby, they're raising the level of the tackles as players, because you've got to dominate the contact. Yeah. Leg tackles aren't really optimal kind of thing. But yeah, that's another bloody conversation. It's just, the cards are ridiculous. I think, how's it going? Yeah, I think the cards were ridiculous, and that's the reason why the All Blacks lost. I think they showed some heart somewhere. But the other thing, the handling errors. Get Quintu Paya out. He dropped the ball backwards twice and knocked it on maybe once or twice.
Off that line out. That was a big one. They just got position after having no ball for 10 minutes, and he's dropped it cold.
He dropped the ball a couple times off a few set pieces where there was forward or back. And he led in that first try. Soft defense. Havili or even RTS would have stopped that, because they're defensive centres. And I said it as well on an Instagram post by the All Blacks that Havili should have been in the 12 jersey. And I know he's a crowd favourite, but Fakatava. Finlay Christie should have been in that reserve jersey, because look what happened. Fakatava got chucked in first time ever in an All Black jersey under so much pressure, having to create something. There's no way he would have played at his best in that situation. Where Finlay Christie, he's an All Black. He's been there before. Obviously not his experience, but he would have done a better job. I think, regardless, they wouldn't have won the game, but I think he would have done a bit better. And it wasn't fair on Fakatava to be put in that position. I don't know why. That's the thing on Ian Foster as well. I don't know why he thought this was going to be a game to... Because number 9's one of the most critical positions on the rugby field. I don't know why he thought this was going to be an easy game to win where, chuck him in, debut. We would have won it.
Do you think it's him thinking that it's an easy game and we'll have it won by the 60th minute, or do you think he's done it because it's his home ground? It's a special time to make your All Blacks debut right in front of your home crowd.
But I also don't think it's fair on him.
No, I don't think it's fair on him either, and I don't think moving forward he's in that.
Yeah. And it's not fair because he showed nothing, but it's not his fault.
But even there was...
They're on the back foot already.
Yeah. I think one of his first touches, he went to go left off the back of a scrum or maul, whatever, or breakdown. He's picked the ball up, went to go left, and then changed his mind, went right and kicked it, and just kicked it straight to the winger,
in the 22 on the full.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. In another position, he come out, went right. The ref's there, and then he's turned back the other way. The pressure he would have been feeling is just not fair on him. He should not have been in there. They should have saved it for the last game when the series was done. I don't know, but
try and win it that game and then.
But then again, it is tough. Ireland are a good team, and so is South Africa, and they've got these debutants in the squad for these two teams, for these two series. When do you put in the new ones? I don't know. That's up to them. But I think Finlay Christie would have been a better fit, and I said that, and. David Havili, whether he's healthy or not, I'm not sure. But it just was not fair at all on him to make his debut in that sort of pressure.
So off the back of that, moving forward, who's your best 15 for the All Blacks?
Are we going on health?
I think just say you.
Say everyone's healthy.
Everyone's healthy. Your best 15.
Another one, Leicester, second game. He's not really experienced at that level. And if Will Jordan's healthy enough to play on the bench, why is he not in that 11 jersey?
Yeah. So, who would you pick?
My forwards would stay the same. Sam Cane questionable. But I'd probably leave him in there. I'll give him, he's had what... He plays well in the All Black jersey. I think it was just a bit of pressure. And last night, and no one plays well under pressure. I would have the back line the same. I'd just have... Havili in there in the 12 jersey and Will Jordan at 11. But my big change would come off the bench and have Finlay Christie. I love Finlay Christie on the bench. What about you?
I've got the same lineup everywhere, but if I don't know we're going on just health wise, but I've got here, if those people are available to play, I've got Will Jordan at 11. I put RTS at 12.
Yeah. I don't mind that either.
I got Rico there at 13, and then I don't know if he's fit, but Caleb Clark. I put him in 14, and I'd have Leicester off the bench.
Yeah.
Instead, Geordie at 15.
So I had the forward pack the same. The only I've got here, I don't know who I'd pick at 8, but I'd Sam Cane's out.
Yeah.
Of my All Blacks 15, and I move Artie Severe to 7. Scott Barrett at 6.
And to captain it.
And captain.
Artie's the captain. Yeah.
Yeah, Artie or Bowden Barrett. I think either one of those two to captain the side. The back line for me changes quite a bit. So I've gone with Caleb Clark on the left wing.
11, yeah. That's
in the 11 because
is that his side?
He's a left wing. He's a left wing.
But obviously hamstring. But
I'd have him on the left wing with Havili and Ioane in the centres.
Yeah.
Will Jordan's my right wing and Geordie Barrett stays as fullback. But then obviously the bench changes a fair bit with obviously whoever starts. I don't know who you'd pick between Peter Gus and Hoskins Sotutu off the back of the scrum.
Yeah.
I'd probably start with Peter Gus.
Yeah.
And then bring Hoskins on. I think he had a fair bit to the back end of the game. Especially if we're going with the likes of Dalton Papali'i to come off the bench as well. That's the Blues back row with Finlay Christie at 9 off the bench. Moanga, and then I've got RTS
off the bench. Yeah. And Aaron Smith, by the way, played unreal.
Yeah.
He's so good.
It blows my mind how good he actually is.
His deliveries from
every single pass.
It's crisp.
The ruck speed as well, like, it's just unbelievable.
He's there.
The accuracy.
And his chat too, I noticed last night.
Yes.
I was like, go!
Yeah, and
off the back of breakdowns.
Every little win they had, screaming, hyping the boys up. And it showed once Fakatava come on. The passes were a bit... They're still world class, right?
But they're not where you want them.
They're not right there every single time with the player running onto it.
Because you think how hard it is to hit somebody on the run right here every single time. So that when they catch, if players are coming in, it's a simple pass. If they're catching up here, then you can't pass a ball up here like that.
Or then if there's someone there too, they could just get absolutely smacked in the ribs too.
So just to watch him and how clinical he is out of 9 is unreal. Like,
it's unbelievable. Like, I could not believe it. And oh my god, like, and he puts players in the holes. He
knows exactly who to hit. Yeah,
and he's like, he's more of the floor general than Bowden Barrett is. They really play through the 9, the All Blacks. I've noticed that since like Dan Carter's gone. He's really like moving the troops around. He's like, yeah, you go there, shift. Like, it's ridiculous what he does. And obviously, he's human. He can't be ringing around for 80 minutes, but I would have left him on for as long as possible.
One guy I want to give reps to, and we haven't spoken about him. George Bauer. The prop.
The running prop. Ball runner.
Unbelievable.
Footwork. Power.
How
many run breaks did he get? He got a few.
He did, and he played unreal rugby. Like, to watch and to lose, obviously we lost Tunga Fussy early, yellow card.
Yeah.
Then we lost Tatavel, and obviously Aiden Ross comes on, he's on his debut.
Yeah.
That dude was unreal.
He was probably...
He was near off the best All Black. He was near off the best All Black on the park.
Attack-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so good. Like, getting the ball as wide as he was, bumping players off. There was one time where he caught the ball and he just went a little in and away, beat his defender.
Yeah. He's playing like a midfielder.
He was. He played really, really well. And I only just seen his name as I was flipping the page over, and I thought, I'll give him a rap, because he did. He played really, really good rugby. I don't think he got enough rap for what he done. Like, he was insane.
He played better than get him in the 12 jersey over Clint Tupai, because Tupai did nothing, absolutely nothing. What else? I
was just saying to T this morning. Obviously, we're having a look. The World Rugby rankings have changed.
What are they at? Where are they now?
France is now first for the first time ever.
That's Dupont and Intermac. Dupont's a freak.
Intermac's ridiculous. They haven't played. They didn't actually play against Japan, so they're playing against Japan.
Is it off that ranking?
Yeah. So
they beat Japan and they're number 1 now?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So because New Zealand and South Africa lost last night,
and Australia, all the Southern Hemisphere teams lost. How crazy is that? That's going to be the first time.
Because New Zealand and South Africa lost, they now dropped down and France are now top.
Beat Japan, really?
Yeah, that's what we said. It's not a fair, and it's the same with rugby league, right? I was telling T this morning, the World Rugby League, the rugby league rankings. Who's the number 1 team in the world?
Australia.
League. Not according to the world rankings.
Who?
New Zealand.
There's
you know who's second? Tonga. That's what I mean. So world rankings mean nothing.
Numbers don't lie, but they also don't tell the full story.
No, they don't, because Australia haven't played.
What, since 2019?
Australia, the Kangaroos haven't played since 2019.
Yeah, 19, I think.
So how are they being judged in a world ranking system where they haven't played rugby league?
And how can you rank someone that hasn't played as well? But they are the best, regardless who they field.
That's it.
They can field 2 teams, still be the best.
Yeah.
Well, the World Rugby Union, that's a bit different, because the competition is
a bit high.
Razor thin.
Yeah.
Like, there's between teams. As I said, the Southern Hemisphere teams, all 3 of them, the major ones, just lost to Wales, England, and Ireland.
No, that's France. Oh.
Japan.
Sorry, I just got that then. But yeah, that's going to be the first time that all 3 of them have lost. And it just goes to show that the whole world has caught up to the All Blacks. I think Wallabies still suck immensely, but they turn it on every time they verse the All Blacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think to have Ireland beat you at home, that's tough. That is tough. That's never happened.
But I was saying last night, they won the game, but do they win the game if it's 15 or 15? And I don't think they do.
Yeah, that's exactly right, but...
they wouldn't be as gassed.
Like, don't get me wrong, they
would not
play
well.
They wouldn't have won.
And that's now the last...
4 of the last 7.
Yeah, the last 7 games that Ireland and All Blacks have played.
4.
4 of them Ireland have won. So are Ireland better than All Blacks?
No.
And you've got to look
Honestly,
at it as well. More context. I know it's the cards, but
Last time
it's the end of Ireland's season. It's their end of year tour. And what was my excuse, at least last year, when they lost to Ireland and France? Oh, nah, they're tired because it's the end of their season. But Ireland have come down here at the end of their season and beat them at home. It's ridiculous. But because of the cards, anyway. Anywho, is that... We're going to leave it there in the All Blacks?
Yeah, you'll wrap it there.
Yeah,
wrap it up.
We could go on for days about this.
Honestly, I could.
The officiation, Yako, whatever his name is.
Don't get me started on Yako.
Leave it there.
Yeah, I'll leave it there.
I could rip shreds off Yako.
Yeah, anywho, exciting time, 2 days, Origin 3. Let's rip up the teams. I'm going to throw this over to Coach first, so let me just unlock this one. I'm going to throw it over to Coach. Teams. Obviously, hang on.
This is game 2?
This is game 3.
No, this is game 3.
Munster's
they're
out.
out. They won't have changed it yet. They haven't confirmed it. But
Anywho, if we look at the teams, the standout, Munster's out, but what else stands out to you?
I don't know who creates their spark if he's out. They've been saying a lot during the week that whoever comes in there is going to do their role, right? But
Who's got the 6th jersey?
I think it might be
Dearden.
Which I don't mind. He's a good player. But if they all do their role, Munster does his role and more. He creates that flair, that spark on attack.
Draws in.
He draws
the
in
whole
so
team's
many
eyes.
Yeah, he's just unreal. Honestly, the out for him is just...
Here's a curveball.
Lazy curver.
Ben Hunt to start at 6.
I did not think of that.
Isn't he a 7?
Doesn't matter. He's a half.
Utility.
Chuck him in.
He's a half.
Hunt
at
onto
6.
the bench.
If it's me, I'll move Hunt to 6.
9.
And who's in 7? Dearden.
Cherry Evans.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Cherry Evans will stay at 7. So Ben
Grant
Hunt moves to 6.
9.
Harry Grant starts at 9 and Dearden comes on off the bench.
I
For me,
don't
it
mind
eases the pressure. Ben Hunt's played Origin at 7 before.
And Grant's the man.
I would do
And
that.
Harry Grant's a good 9.
Hunt's been playing good footy this year.
Hunt's near off being the best half in the comp in the NRL.
He's up there with... he was leading the Dalians when it went goals.
Closed doors. That's what I'd do. I'd move Hunt to 6.
I don't see why they don't do that, but I've seen a bit of Dearden talk in the media as well.
I think he might be able to.
A really good young kid. I don't think he's going to start. Like, to put that pressure on him in a decider, making his debut,
I wouldn't.
I would bring him off the bench. I think for me, he'd add more coming off the bench when they're later in the game.
Yeah.
They did that with Grant the other year. Like when he made his debut, they had him on the bench, and everyone's, why is he here?
And come off the bench and scored a try and just.
I just think if Dearden starts, it's giving too much advantage. Nothing against the kid. He's a fantastic player,
and he'll be
but
there.
It just gives they will target him.
Debutant.
Yeah, they will target him. Non-stop. I think you've got to go with Hunt at 6, and I think that's the way Billy Slater leans. But I'm hoping that's what he goes with. And for me, they lose someone who can do anything. Right, Munster's an absolute freak of the sport, but at the same time, I think if they start with that 6, 7, and 9, they're a lot more controlled.
Here's the back Ponga. That's a
and
decent
Ponga in the back. Ben Hunt's kicking game obviously adds another dimension to them with what's it called, Hunt's kicking game as well. With along with Cherry Evans, they got 2 kickers now on either side of the field. If
surely they
do
run that. Surely
you'd think so, but the other thing you got to think about as well is that if Dearden's right, and they do go with Dearden, he's obviously got that combination with Jeremiah Nanai who's starting as well.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of options, but if it's me, I'd go with Hunt, Cherry Evans, and Grant.
I've also put down, I didn't think Jordan McLean should have been in there, but he's obviously been ruled out with a
hamstring.
Hammy. I think Slafidi's better in that role. He's on debut, but he offers you a little bit more aggression. I don't know what Jordan McLean would have brought him, but I'm happy for this dude to get his debut. I think he's starting. He's come straight.
I think he will come into the starting side, but
they haven't updated it since.
I think he starts, and I think it's a good good choice. They do miss Payne though. He does bring a lot.
Yeah.
He's got a big motor, and every time he's come on the field for a second stint, he's absolutely ripped them. So
I've got to think what Brad Fittler's selection process is.
It blew my mind the first game.
It baffles me. Like,
how does Jordan
Payne Haas
McLean get in there?
hey?
How did Jordan McLean make
So
it?
Payne Haas is not fit to start. You've got guys that are like, so Regan Campbell-Gillard's missed out again.
I don't know
Played
why.
Origin 1. He misses out. Daniel Saifidi, so Jacob's brother, has
He's
played
played
Origin.
Origin.
And
Before?
he's fit.
Yeah.
He's played
Yeah.
Origin. He's fit and ready to go. Starts for Newcastle every week.
He's
He's
not even in the squad.
He's not even in the squad. Dale Finucane,
I forgot about that.
he's joined the extended squad, and I said
him
last
in.
week. I said last week he should be in the side.
Yeah.
He's joined the extended squad now, but he hasn't made the side. Like,
What are you doing?
Are you just trying to give everyone a debut? Because that's what it seems like.
Yeah, and it's not the time for it, that's for sure.
The other one I don't get is Talakai keeping his spot on the bench when
I was
Ryan's fit and ready
about to
go.
circle back to that. Would you have Whiten instead of Talakai?
100%.
100%.
100%.
And because Whiten can he play anywhere? Surely.
He can play anywhere.
He's
And
more
he's got
versatile than
He's got a good
Talakai.
kick as well.
He
What does
can-
Talakai give you? Nothing.
Talakai. The thing that Talakai came out and said, I don't know how I've kept my spot. Whiten should have been in.
Did he actually say
He's
that?
come out and said that.
Oh my god.
So he knows that he shouldn't be there.
Far out.
I don't know how.
Whiten's what, 18th man?
Yeah.
And Hines is what?
Hines is out with COVID.
Hines is
now.
out now.
Okay, yeah.
But he was 19th man.
But
I don't know how he's in there.
it baffles me. The other one I wanted to talk about is Tom Gilbert. So
The Queensland Day 17.
the future
Yeah.
Dolphin, 2023 Dolphin.
That's debutant?
He's
Yeah.
done debut.
Oh my god. He's the
thoroughly-
only one who's allowed to score.
Yeah, so thoroughly deserved.
I like that.
I really like this dude. The aggression that he's going to bring off the bench. Just a really emotional player. Like, he plays with so much passion and aggression, and you can see that through the Cowboys. I think he goes to another level with Queensland.
He cried when he got the phone call from Billy.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So you just know he's
You
going to
can
rip
chuck
it.
that into Chiefs, our coach's feel good moment of him just crying. You love to see it.
Crying.
So yeah, it's again Gagai and Papali'i picked.
Yeah.
Stick solid. We thought Billy would stick solid, and he
Wow.
has. But at the same time, is it a?
I don't know about Josh.
The
Is
New
it
South
a
Wales
Gagai?
full pack is looking a bit gutless. That's all.
I'm just going to say that I don't mind Gagai getting picked because I think he probably has a better game than he has the first two. Papali'i, but get him out.
Again, what was the stats? How many minutes did he play in the
22 and 26.
Yeah, 22 and 26. He's played 48 minutes total. It's
He's
It's
played
a
a half-
joke.
he's played a half.
Honestly, it's a joke.
yeah, but I don't know how this one's going to go.
I don't.
I think
I think a lot of people are thinking it should be a walk in the park for the Blues.
exactly, and I think that was the reason why it won't be.
Yeah.
Because I think it's in all their heads. Brad Fittler can talk all he wants about. We're still going to prepare. It's not going to change our preparation. It's in everyone's heads. Everyone knows
Everyone's talking
that the
about
best player in that maroon jersey will not be on the field.
Well,
Everyone knows that.
To say the best player in the maroon jersey,
I think
he's the best player in the Origin series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
So, like, to say
and they all know that
yeah.
he's not playing, so it's in their head regardless. And especially in all the all over social media, everyone's already given up.
Yeah.
You know, it's not fair that Blues have won the series now just because Munster's out. It's not over. Queensland,
It's at Suncorp
This is where they want to be.
and it's Queensland. New
That's
South
the
Wales
ball.
are famous
for choking it.
for choking it. For
They
nothing.
haven't won.
For absolutely nothing.
They haven't won a decider at Suncorp since 2005.
That's how. Oh my god.
It's pathetic. They need to. New South Wales don't have to. They need to win this game.
I've
Otherwise,
got a
it's
question
a
here for you
choke.
guys. I'll ask you first. If New South Wales lose this, is this the biggest choke job in NRL history?
Oh,
in Origin history.
In Origin-
history.
because Munster's out, probably. But 2020 will always stick with. They had
No, I don't. I think 2020 is the
2020.
A bigger choke job.
2020 is the biggest choke that
biggest
they've
you'll
ever
see in
provided.
Origin. I can't.
That
I
team-
can't fathom how they lost that series.
I don't know how they lost.
And that goes back to what I just said. New South Wales as a whole, I think the culture's not there. I don't know what it is, but it's pathetic. And if they better,
Not better win. They need to.
oh my god, if they somehow lose this game,
They haven't won a
I'm
decider
going to be
since.
spewing.
They haven't won a decider there since Andrew Johns was in the jersey.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
Jones.
So what do we think? What do we think happens? Are we gonna predict? Does anyone have anything else on the team list?
Nah.
I've got nothing.
I've got nothing on the team. But
Predictions.
You go first.
I've put down. I think New South Wales win. I think it's going to be low scoring, and I think it's going to be a 2-point or a 4-point game, 1 possession game.
Yeah.
Score
16-12.
16-12 New South Wales.
Yeah.
Man of the match.
That's a toughie.
Cheering
Honestly, I'm going to go James Tedesco.
Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy Esco.
Anytime try to score.
Chuck it down. Go Appy.
Appy.
Happy Carousel. That's a hot take.
Through the middle.
That is
He loves a scoop
Yeah.
late in the game. He might not be in there late in the game though.
My one.
Actually, scratch that. Put Cook. Cook. Damien.
My one. I'm a Blues fan. Please prove me wrong. I'm dying to be wrong. Queensland wins 12-10. I want to be wrong. Please.
Please.
Man of the match.
Man of the match. Probably. Hang on. Who have we got? Wait. So sorry.
Munster's out.
Here we go. Kalen Ponga.
Ponga.
Also, anytime.
Ponga.
He gets a try and man of the match. What about yourself?
I think for me, it's going to be the closest game of the series.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think there's many points scored.
No.
But if I'm wrong, which I want to be, about my 12-10, it'll be a New South Wales, 26-point win kind of thing. But, yeah.
I want to take New South Wales head-to-head.
Wow.
And I only say that because of Cameron Munster being out. I think they'll play really well, but I just think they lack
That extra little...
Yeah.
That extra flair.
Touch. And I'm going to say it'll be 16-12.
Another lowie.
Oh, same score predictions.
Yeah,
Man of the match at any time?
Well, T's gone Teddy to be man of the match, so...
If they win, I reckon... If New South Wales win, it's going to be Nathan Cleary, man of the match.
Yeah, I think Cleary's... Yeah, his kicking game, he'll take over. I think Cleary, man of the match. And any time... let's go... With the guy we've bagged out the whole podcast, Liam Martin across.
Also, I've got to ask your guy, Liam Martin.
Liam Martin
I'm gonna leave him be this week.
We'll leave him
We'll leave him be this week purely because he picked Jordan McLean and he reeks hard. So
yeah, Jordan McLean's getting it this week.
But to be fair, Liam Martin's not that bad defensively. He just doesn't offer anything in attack. That's the only reason I don't think he should be in there. But
So there we have it.
Oh my god! And with that, I think we've gone on a bit too long. We'll save this another one for. We'll save this for a future episode. We'll rip into the 3-cat multi, which I think I'm going to play into. I'll go first. Mine will be Origin, which is Kalen Ponga anytime. Oh, hang on, sorry. We'll go over last week's. That was a shocker from myself. I've had Jazz Tavana.
And I had Sean Johnson.
Sean Johnson anytime. So 2 misses. Warriors 13 plus. He's hit one.
They've provided.
He's hit a leg. But yeah, another shocker after the 3-cat multi last week.
We're not having the best weeks.
But okay, this week, so Ponga anytime. Oh, that's my leg. What's your leg there, coach? You're gonna go with the Origin leg now, switching it up.
Might have to.
Yeah, the Origin Deluxe.
I'm gonna go Teddy. Teddy anytime.
Both fullback anytime.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened since 2003, I think. I'm joking.
What's your pick there, coach?
And I'm going to change it up. I'm gonna move away from the rugby league and I'm gonna go Carlton 1-39.
Bit of AFL.
Yeah.
Well, we.
1-39.
1-39.
Is that they win the game?
Yeah, between 1-39.
Holy shit! How much is that paying? $1.
$2.12.
That's a big market. That's
a big margin.
Yeah, but you got to think it's only so you get 6
they
goals. It's
score
only like
heaps.
seven goals difference. They are playing West Coast, who's coach's team,
They're going
and who have been
ass.
going terrible this year. So I don't think Carlton beat them by 40 plus. So
Yeah.
I think 1-39 is a pretty.
All right, so 3-cap multi for this week. Kalen Ponga anytime in game 3, Teddy anytime in game 3, and Carlton 1-39. Hopefully that's not another shocker next week. And last segment of the day, finish on a good note. Coach's feel-good moment of the week.
My feel-good moment, my guy, the absolute GOAT, Joey Jaws Chestnut.
Oh my god!
Wins
And
his
if you don't know,
50th title in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
and you've got to look at the what's it called? The adversity he's faced in this year's title.
He's had a leg injury.
And the build. First of all, the build-up. Was there a bit of issues with the build-up, or was it because of the injury?
That was because of the injury. So he hasn't been as active this year with his eating. He's had 2 injuries this year. So he hasn't
Two
been,
injuries.
He hasn't had the right prep.
He's arrived on the day with an
With
injury,
a moon boot.
on crutches.
And then not only that,
Mid-tournament.
17th hot dog. He's only in front by about 3.
He's only 17 hot dogs in.
And
what happens?
there's a protester come on stage and mid-eating, he's choked the guy, threw him to the floor and kept eating. And
He
won by
stopped
about
eating, beating the shit out of the protester, and then gone back and still won it. The greatest of all time without debate. It has to be. Joey
Honestly.
Chestnut,
Joey
winning the
Jaws.
4th of July. What's the brand?
Nathan's.
Nathan's hot dog eating contest. With how many? 67?
63 this year.
63. That's a low number.
That's a low number for his standards.
Well, it's like Usain Bolt later on in his career. He
Yeah.
ran a bit slower, but still the best.
Well,
in the
last
world.
year he got the world record.
71?
76.
76. God.
It's a lot of dogs.
76
lot of dogs per minute.
What's the time?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
76 domes per minute.
Think about that. 76 dogs per minute.
No.
76 dogs.
No, not
76
per minute.
dogs.
Sorry.
I was thinking, Jesus Christ.
Sorry,
I think
76 dogs.
760 hot dogs.
I've also got here a little bit of a recap from last week. We've obviously talked about the BBL draft.
Yeah.
I've gone and done my research.
Questions.
So it is only 3 international players per team.
Per team, yep.
Players nominate themselves for categories, so bronze, silver, and gold.
Yep.
And then from that, Cricket Australia goes and chooses from the pool of nominations who's going to be a platinum selection.
Yep.
And then you've got to go from there, obviously, from their availability, who you think is worth that platinum price.
Yeah.
So the platinum will get paid $340,000, roughly around that, and
That's actually
part of that comes from the cap, and part comes outside from Cricket Australia. From the
They subsidise some of that.
Yeah, subsidise some of that from a third party. Gold's $260K, silver $175, and bronze $100,000.
Which is good from Cricket Australia. It helps bring in some big names for the competition.
Yeah, all of it doesn't matter what Cricket Australia for every single international player. Some of it is getting paid outside the salary cap for every tier. Lottery picks. It is a lottery pick draft, so Renegades, Heat, and the Stars go into a draw for the first 3 picks. But
why those
because they didn't make finals last year.
Oh yes,
So,
nice.
but because it's a weighted draft, so Renegades will get 3 balls into the thing because they came dead last. Heat get 2, Stars get 1.
Yeah.
So Renegades get 3 chances to get first pick. Heat obviously get
now
2.
it makes sense why the Heat have sucked the last 6 to 8 seasons.
Yeah. Then the
'cause they're
Stars
tanking.
get 1. So then they get that, and then same with the other 5. So then they'll go in their own pool to see who gets the other picks from that. Obviously,
Yeah.
whoever. So I think it was what my teammates.
Doesn't matter the order.
They get and it's snake order. So it'll go Renegades to whoever, and then but it stays at Renegades for the first next bit. So Renegades to the first, Renegades to that, and then from there it's snakes. So whoever's got that last pick goes directly after.
Yeah.
So and then it just goes round and round and round until all the players are.
Well, we bit of information there, but he's gone away, really hit the books hard and done his research for us. Really answered a few questions. Any more on that?
That is it. That's
Big
all
Bash
I've got.
League.
No.
Well, that'll wrap up the show.
Can I just
today.
throw in a bit of a feel good as well? last night.
Oh, he's jumping in on the segment.
Yeah, I
Just jumped on my feel-good moments.
I just wanted to throw it, like, I was watching the AFL last night, the Gold Coast Suns, who, as a franchise, haven't been that great. They haven't been that great. Played Richmond last night, who've been one of the best teams over the last 6-7 seasons. Won, I think, 3 titles, and have been playing some really good AFL. The Suns last night were down 40 points at home.
And they've come away with it? Don't tell me they've come away with a win.
Going into the last quarter, they were down by 28 points.
Oh my God.
Which is 4 goals and 2 behinds. And they've come back.
Oh my God. How long's the quarter?
20 minutes. They've kicked a goal after the siren to win the game.
On the buzzer beater.
On the buzzer. After the buzzer. From their number 2 draft pick from last season. So he's just been picked number 2 in the draft.
God.
He's come out in front of the home crowd.
Buzzer beater.
And absolutely nailed a goal to win the game.
I'm going to get this up. I'll watch it after we wrap it up, but...
It was absolutely incredible. The team absolutely got around him and were just loving it. The crowd went ballistic. But I just wanted to chuck that in there. Good on the Gold Coast Suns for...
Yeah, the crowd of 78 people, I think, were in attendance. Went absolutely ballistic. The crowd went wild. So yeah, wow, we Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah, I just want to throw that in before we.
I'm gonna watch this off air, if you will. But yeah, anything else?
No,
we went on a bit of a tangent with the All Blacks and Norwich.
Well, you got it.
That took us a while because Anyway, but yeah, that's episode 3. My goodness me, we'll be back next week, episode 4. See you later. Lazy little thumbs up and then just.